Hello teachers, welcome to the TEI Guidance on Domain 1. The teachers are designing research-based rigorous lessons for diverse student population. We're going to focus on 1.4 lesson resources. By looking at the left column, you will see the essential teacher skills and actions that identify that you vary instructional resources, you align resources to content, and integrate technology, digital resources to supplement and enhance mastery of the lesson content. We're going to focus on column exemplary that is divided in three different parts. The first part, the top one, discusses about how we involving an appropriate mixture of high quality resources. So this goes with how well I'll align, what is the developmental level, the language proficiency, culture, and look at this, interest. How are we increasing their interest on those particular part of the lesson, either in a whole group or an I do or in my stations. Number two, consistently uses available technology. This part focuses on the use of blended learning. Either is iEducation Galaxy, iExcel, or iStation. How are we utilizing that data not only for students to keep track of their progress and using that in the student learning profile, but how are we differentiating in our small group different levels to target a specific tick based on tiers. And the last one, how the lesson plan identifies and develops creative methods and materials to remediate and enhance instruction. So I hope that this part of the indicator gives you a little more clarity on how we are going to explain or plan our I do, we do, you do, in addition to our stations, instead of just putting, that the students will go to iExcel. Okay, what we want to work in iExcel? What is the lesson objective for a specific particular group of students, correct? I'm going to move on now to continue with domain 1, and now 1.5. 1.5 focus on the lesson structure. The essential teacher actions on your left side, it says that it's aligned to appropriate content standards, relevant to prior and future knowledge, linked to broader goals and transferable skills, sequenced through the use of appropriate pacing guides, representative of a complete lesson cycle, and differentiated to consider individual student cognitive and developmental, social, emotional, and cultural needs. The majority of the explanation falls onto proficient. As you can see, exemplary, it means that all or nearly all time the unit objectives and lesson plan demonstrate exemplary. That is evident. So what is proficient? So we know that the unit objectives are aligned to the appropriate standards of the year, allocate the amount of instructional time. Remember, it has to be very evident that we are devoting the 120 minutes for reading language arts, 90 minutes for math, 45 minutes for science and social studies. The way that we divide the time is how to come to our creativity of using blended learning stations and so forth, especially right now that we are in a hybrid model, having virtual kids and face-to-face. Align prior to next grade level and allow for reflection. This is a very important part of the lesson plan that I want you to focus on, reflection. When we finalize a lesson, what opportunities do we have in place to the students to reflect, to share with peers, to make some input in the journal? What writing prompts do we have for them to continue making connections? Lesson plans usually identify the lesson objectives, includes instructional strategies that give students multiple opportunities. By stating, working on page 23, that doesn't tell me anything. That doesn't tell us anything. How are you gonna bring that lesson alive? To avoid getting bored, for students to get bored, what techniques, what videos, how are you gonna make that experience riches for your students? Aligning learning experiences with instructional outcomes, and last, include opportunities for remediation and enrichment. This falls again into your small group. Small groups must happen every single day, and I know that we're learning day by day how to work with our both groups, virtual and face to face. But the way that we reflect on it will keep us moving forward. So please, teachers, if you have been receiving feedback on your lesson plan, it's important for you to acknowledge, ask questions if you need answers for that, and make those upgrades. I hope that this time help you, and how are we going to be using this rubric to our summatives. Again, if you have any questions, please don't forget to contact your TEI experts or your primary evaluator. Thank you.